the most important goal for today, the most important goal, and maybe this is for you too, the most important goal is actually to feel this deeper connection of love and guidance. That's it. Hey there, I'm Julie Reisler. I am so grateful to be here with you, my soul friend. And today's solo episode is with yours truly. I feel like we're going to have a conversation together. It always feels like I can feel the energy of you with me. And I'm so excited. I love doing these because, first of all, I'm going to be sharing something that I've been working through that I hope is helpful for you. And also, I'm going to be doing intuitive messages. I'm going to be using some of my favorite oracle decks, and I'll be sharing why I chose them and how I ground myself before I do that. And then I'm going to let the divine intelligence flow through and to share some intuitive messages that I hope help you get started in this month of September, the last quarter of the year. I'm already hearing right now, one quick note that I'm getting is to just remember that, we get in our mind often like, okay, it's now the school year for many of us. If you have children, my kids just went back to school. We're getting ready for the fall to start up. And then we get, ready for the holidays and the new year. Every moment is a moment to start over. Every breath is a gift. It's the divine moving, breathing through you. It's a miracle, actually. And even though we're in this busy time of getting back to school and getting ready for fall to come in, we don't have to wait, right, for certain times of the year to evaluate, to heighten our awareness, to check in, to really get a sense of what is working and what's not. How am I honoring my divinity? What is it that I need to really feel connected and loved? And so I'm hearing this already that you can decide in this moment, any moment, you can pause, connect into your heart. And I highly recommend, for me, it really helps to actually put my hand on my heart. If you're watching this right now on YouTube, you can see that's what I'm doing. I do this often when I'm interviewing people. It's a really fantastic way to ground yourself back into your truth, not your mind, not your head, but your heart. And we're going to talk about that today. It's actually one of the things that I really have been working on myself. And I want to talk about that, especially living in a culture. I know, at least in the Western world, I know I live in a culture, and maybe for you too, that is all about achieving and doing and hustling and grinding and our to-do list. And I've talked about this before. I think what's happening is the more that I'm really practicing, what does it really mean to surrender, to be in the flow, to let go, the more that I'm realizing, wow, I have been really wound up tight and really focused on, I must achieve, I've got to, get these goals done and make sure that I am hitting this mark. And I just want to say, it's so interesting. I'll share one thing that came through as well. Maybe that's you too. Maybe you're feeling like I am tired. I am tired. I'm tired emotionally, mentally, physically, but I'm tired energetically. I don't want to be in this rat race, in this hustle. And my dear friend, you don't have to be. We don't have to be. We can change this. And so this might be the moment, right? And it doesn't have to be the first of the new year. It doesn't have to be a certain date in the calendar, or I love the new moon and the full moon. In fact, if you're watching this when this episode releases, it is the new moon in Virgo, which is all about really getting detailed and looking at our time and our energy and taking actions that align with what really makes us feel connected and that feels right. So we're going to talk about that. The other thing I wanted to say, and without going too deep into this, I had said that often when we're so focused on our goals, it can feel like I'm constantly missing the mark. And I just heard this great definition the other day. For some, this might be a trigger word, but when you hear the word sin, right? The original meaning of sin, in my understanding, is to miss the mark. So in the idea of, where are we? And I think it was in A Course in Miracles. That's where I heard it. Where are we sinning? It's more like No, not from this idea of doing something wrong or terrible or bad. It's like, where are we missing the mark in being kind and compassionate to ourselves, in honoring our energy and being loving? And the great thing is, this is what I said when we first started, is you can do a do-over at any time. You can decide in this breath, in this moment, in this present moment, the past is not here. It doesn't exist. And the future is not here yet. So we can come back and say, you know what? I did miss the mark because I've been so married to my to-do list and my goals and hyperachievement and hustling and grinding that I've been kind of missing this deeper connection and feeling to my spirit, to my higher self, to something greater. And that is what I'm learning. The most important thing. I had this realization this morning. I woke up, I had all these ideas in my head, and I said, no, Julie, what we're focusing on today is getting in the flow to feel connection, to feel divine love, to feel that I am guided and guarded by something so much bigger, loving and intelligent, whether you call it God or the universe, goddess, higher power, whatever you call it, cosmic intelligence. But I realized the most important goal for today, the most important goal, and maybe this is for you too, the most important goal is actually to feel this deeper connection of love and guidance. That's it. Because, and as Abraham Hicks says, once you get into that vortex, once you get into that flowing down the river and not upstream, that's where you start getting those intuitive hits. That's where you start to feel like, oh my gosh, life feels magical. I just ran into this person I was thinking about. That person I was just wondering about called. I have this opportunity that just fell in my lap because we're not pushing against. We're moving with. And that is a very different energy. And so that's what I'm feeling. We'll see what the cards say. But I wanted to share that. If you're feeling tired and a little bit overtaxed and overwhelmed, one of the things I would encourage you to do is really to bring yourself to a point of silence, to start giving yourself the gift of silence every day, meditation, breathing, 5 minutes, 10 minutes would be great. And give yourself that space to go in, right? We live in a very hyper productive, over busy culture. We're bombarded, whether it's social media or the news or TV or whatever is going on. And I think that kind of conditioning, what I've noticed for me is it keeps me away from being connected to my heart, to my soul, right? Just even notice the energy as you feel this. Even close your eyes if you can. You're not driving, right? Notice how you feel when you start to tune in. Maybe you put your hand on your heart. Oh, yeah. Okay. My heart is beating on my behalf. I'm not doing anything. There is a divine presence that is beating your heart, that is breathing you right now, that is breathing through you. And we can miss this, right? And we don't want to have to wait till there's some diagnosis or crisis to notice the miracle, the divine life, prana, life force, love that is you, that's breathing you. And I'm telling you, what I'm noticing is it's so counterculture and counterintuitive, but this idea of really letting go, of surrendering and being, not having ambitious goals. I'm not saying you're not going to have a to-do list, and I'm not saying you're not going to take action. But what I've noticed is we let our heart guide first. We let ourselves feel the energy go down the stream, get into the vortex, get into a sense of feeling connected. And it's feeling, my friend, this is not going to live in your head. I had a recent experience. I've had a lot of recent experiences where, it's been in my face. That's the thing. You and I, we're here on this path of enlightenment and higher consciousness. And I'm going to tell you right now, once you've said yes, you're going to notice every life experience is an opportunity to learn if you choose to do so. And that is good. It's not always fun, but everything brings awareness, and it helps us to grow and evolve and to raise our vibration and consciousness. And I know if you're here listening, we're in the same boat. And I noticed that I had a situation with somebody, and my head got into it. I started getting all strategic, like, how am I going to make this happen? What do I need to do? The hows, the whats, the like striving, the figuring it out, trying to figure it out. When you notice that, I'm going to invite you to pause, take a breath, recalibrate, because when we start getting into strategizing, How do I do this? How do I figure it out? The how, that pushing energy that I've got to figure it out. My brain gets into overdrive. I can feel it. Not only does that tax your nervous system and your fight flight response often, but it kicks you out of that space of receptivity, of divine flow, of effortlessness, of vortex, all of that. So it's counterintuitive, but I'm going to invite you to, I'm doing this too. I'll do it with you. When you start getting into like, I don't know, how am I going to find that relationship? How am I going to make more money? How am I going to move? How? No, that's not where the answer lives, my friend. It does not live in our brain, in our minds, in the how, in the striving, the figuring out. It doesn't live there. And that's what I'm getting. And I saw this with an interaction with somebody. It was not a very fun interaction, but it was a really big learning. I saw that my ego kicked in, and ego, you could think of it as like edging God out, edging greatness out. I just got into like, I got to figure this out. I got to figure it out. And that for me is a big indicator of ego. So if that's going on for you, we don't want to be shitty and crappy to ourselves. We want to be loving and get curious. Get curious. How might I look at this different? How can I pause, take a breath, and go back into the energy of feeling divine connection, of feeling divine love? Something I've been noticing, I've been interviewing some amazing mediums and spiritual teachers and those individuals who've had near-death experiences, like Dr. Eben Alexander was recently on my show. And, you know, it's so helpful, hopefully for you, and it is definitely helpful for me to be reminded, anyone I've talked to about their near-death experience, and I have someone coming soon, you're going to get to hear from a dear friend who's a psychic medium, Michelle Claire, who talks about her 3 near-death experiences. It's the same thing every time, my friend. It's the same thing. It feels extremely real. And what I keep getting is you are so surrounded by love. That is the reality. And I think in this third density, in this world of polarity, you know, we forget that. And part of our awakening and enlightenment journey is to remember. And that missing the mark, really, what I believe personally, what that sin is just missing the mark and forgetting who you are. And it's nothing serious, right? It's just, oh yeah, I'm a divine being. Oh yeah, I just listened to Sarah Landon's work. I'm hoping to have her on the show, and talks about, from the wisdom of the council, being the master. We're all the master of our lives, right? You and I, we're all following something that is deeply in our DNA, divine, loving, right? Beyond just intelligent in the mind, right? And Aaron Apke, who was on recently, we talked about spiritual intelligence. We all have that. We're wired with that. So it's like reprogramming yourself. And maybe you decide to use this time of going back to school, this energy of, you know, going back and studying and learning, and fall time, and kind of wrapping the end of the year, really use it to unwind that conditioning of having to produce and create and strive and hustle and make things happen and figure them out. Maybe we together decide, no, I'm going to pause and I'm going to let the divine guide me. I'm going to let that roadmap that's within me to emerge, because we each have our own unique divine roadmap. I can tell you that. I know that. And it's something actually I'm going to be teaching. I'm going to be doing a 3-day free intuition activation experience. And if you're interested, I'll make sure to put the links below. You can also go to juliereisler.com/workshops. It's so fun. We're going to be meeting starting on the portal date of 9/9 for 3 days. And I'm going to be teaching some of my favorite techniques. And I'm using these too. I'm using these as well. And I got to say, something I'm noticing is that energy of surrendering and saying, I don't know and I don't need to know. I heard someone say this, like, it's above my brain's pay grade. Like, I don't have a 360 perception. Think about it. Even our eyes, right? Like, we're facing forward. We don't have eyes around our head. We're not able to see the whole picture, but there is divine intelligence, cosmic, you know, the divine matrix, God, the universe, cosmic powers that can see 360, that can see around the whole picture. And I guess what I'm sharing is that I've noticed so much more flow and ease and miracles when I allow myself to surrender and to practice really getting in the flow, going down that river, that current, and really trusting. And so I hope that helps you. I think this is something that we learn and do together. I also believe there's a bit of unwinding the conditions that conditioning we've had, but to trust and to track it, to notice what happens when I slow down, when I go into my heart, when I go into the energy, my energy field, when I follow energy, when I follow the light, when I follow, that feeling that this feels connected, aligned. And if it doesn't, then we create loving boundaries. It's a no, it's a not yet. So anyhow, I could go on and on. I'm going to pause there. We're going to do some fun intuitive readings. Today, I'm going to give you some intuitive messages, and I'm going to be using a couple different decks. Just shuffled my first deck, The Sacred Traveler by Denise Lynn. I'll also have all of these in the description so you can find them if you want them. Let's take a moment. I have already set an intention before I pressed record. However, I would love to do this together. I think there's a real value in us setting intentions together. So you can follow me. You can set your own intention. I like to put my hand on my heart. And if it feels good, you can do that too. Closing your eyes if that feels okay to you, or of course, you can always keep them open. And just grounding, feeling this energetic presence, noticing the light above your crown, and imagining this beautiful crystalline light coming from above, from the cosmos, all the way down. Oh, I can feel it above the top of your crown of your head, and just moving down your head, your top of your crown, through your third eye, the center of your body, moving down into your throat chakra and your heart, moving down into your solar plexus, and then all the way into your bottom of your groin area, and then like a pillar of light grounding into the earth, and noticing those crystalline, beautiful lights, that grid anchoring into Mother Earth with roots. And what we're doing is we are anchoring ourselves from the cosmos all the way to Mother Earth. Take a deep breath. And I'm just going to invite my team of light, my higher self, to help me translate and transmit messages of the highest good for all. May we all be blessed by these messages. I'm asking my eyes, my third eye, my ears, my heart to be open wide, and to feel, see, and hear and tune in to this frequency of love, of light. And I say thank you. And of course, I'll just start by saying, please, 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 always run everything I'm sharing with you through your intuition. It's really important. And anything that doesn't resonate, you can always let that go. All right. So the first deck is The Sacred Traveler by Denise Lynn. And I'm just gonna shuffle these a little bit more. And so what I'm doing is up this one. Okay. So I'll show you what I'm doing in just a minute. I am looking at them kind of with my mind's eye. Actually, we got two. And I'm noticing which ones light up, like get a little bit, they look kind of like there's like a golden sparkle around them. And so that might be similar for you. It might be different for you. Remember, we all connect to our intuition differently. Let's see what we got. Okay. Ooh, beautiful. So the first, oh, interesting. These cards are right next to each other, but they were shuffled. So the first one is Navigating by the Stars. Follow your bliss. I'm going to show this to you here. It's a beautiful one. Wow, really powerful with the moon. So beautiful. It's funny, it looks like the new moon, which is where we are right now. And then Narrow Pathway, Tread Thoughtfully. Okay, so I'm going to read these to you. I'll try to do this briefly, but I think these are going to be very connected to what I was talking about. I can feel it. Okay. Yep, these cards are right next to each other. So interesting. So Navigating by the Stars. I'm going to read these to you, my friend, and feel free to close your eyes and listen with your heart. Trust your gut. Have faith that a higher power is directing your life. Oh my gosh. Hello. We are just saying that. Believe. Allow your life decision to be dictated by what opens your heart and by what brings you joy. Relax. Be patient. Follow your bliss. Your life is divinely guided. All is going according to a wonderful plan for your life. Be confident that all is well. This is a great one. So the sacred traveler wants you to know sometimes you can't see the road ahead, but when you become still, you can feel the right way to go. Yes, it's like navigating by the stars. You might not be able to see every detail of the path for your life, but when you trust the light of the stars, your silent spirit guardians, and the joy of your guiding North Star to navigate in the darkness, in the morning light, you find yourself at the right place at the right time. I just really almost want to cry. This is exactly what we were just talking about, what I was just saying before. Your roadmap, your North Star, it's unique to you. And the way that you get your unique roadmap, your North Star, is not by comparing yourself to others or trying to do it the way someone else did something. No, it's getting quiet. It's relaxing. It's following your bliss. It's following your joy. It's following your creativity and allowing this beautiful guidance. I love what it said, your silent spirit guides to guide you. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's exactly this is exactly spot on. Okay, narrow pathway. So I'm going to read this one to you. Notice if this resonates. Tread thoughtfully. Do not make any quick decisions. Think things through. Tread carefully. If you rush into anything, there are potential difficulties. Keep very focused and don't allow yourself to get distracted. Your project will succeed if you go slowly. The relationship will grow, but don't be in a hurry. Let all emerge in its own time. Be thoughtful in all areas of your life. The sacred traveler wants you to know when your path becomes narrow, success will ensue if you go slowly and carefully. The traveler takes one step at a time, deliberately and cautiously. No detail of the path is overlooked. Keep your focus on the steps ahead. Do not get ahead of yourself. Breathe, relax. You will be able to achieve what others have not if you take the time to consider carefully all options and move forward with deliberate care. So again, we're talking, it's so interesting because both of these cards are about moving forward, about success. And I'm going to say that in air quotes because success doesn't necessarily mean getting to your destination quickly, making that money, finding the relationship you were thinking. It doesn't necessarily mean those things. It might mean connection with spirit, connecting with an animal on your walk. Like it doesn't have to mean the big final goals. And what I'm getting also with the narrow pathway and tread carefully, thoughtfully is we're so conditioned to go fast and to go the quickest route. And often we are not slowing down. We're not digesting. So what I'm hearing is we want to digest just like we digest our food. And this happens naturally. My friend, when you eat, your body is digesting. We want to digest the material, the information, what's coming through our senses. Our brain is a perception, you could call it a perception machine, right? It's a mechanism for perceiving what's happening out there. And often we are taking in so much information that we might do that without really digesting the information. And so we want to slow down. And if there's a decision that maybe you're thinking about, what I'm hearing is to pause. Don't make a decision until you have the full throttle, the full energy behind it. And if it's not 100%, if it's 97%, it's a no, not yet. Right? So we're learning how to follow the energy, and we're going to wait for that energy to be 100%. We're going to wait. We're going to pause. We're going to learn patience together. And that's one's for me too, for sure. So I hope that's helpful. All right. The next deck, I think I've used this one before, is a fantastic deck. I'll show it to you. It's the Archangel Power Tarot card deck. So there are 72 cards in here. I'm going to shuffle these and choose one that is going to light up for us. So let's see what we get. I had it the wrong way, and this one feels like the card. Let's see what we get. All right. Oh, how funny. This is kind of what I was saying earlier too. Okay. So it's number 20, New Beginnings, Archangel Jeremiel. Jeremiel or Jeremiel. Starting a new life, finding your purpose, a forgiving and compassionate review of the past. How beautiful. Oh, I've never pulled that card. I'm going to read it to you. This is so fun because it feels really, really connected. All right, 20, which when you put 2 and 0 together, 2 is such a powerful number in numerology, right? It's like that we're doing things together, right? With a partner. You could think of your partner as the divine, as Holy Spirit, as your higher self, as your spirit guide. And then that 0 is all about new beginnings when you put 2 and 0 together. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you. You are being called to renew your dedication to your life purpose. Each day of your life has led you to this moment. Now it's time to review your personal history and make changes that will take you in a different direction. Archangel Jeremiel can help you evaluate the past without harsh judgments. Take up your new destination with joy and confidence. Situations where decisions must be made will work out positively for you. Academic examinations, tests, and legal settlements have favorable outcomes. So I'm hearing if for those of you who might have a legal situation, maybe it's something you're dealing with a family member, divorce, maybe it's even waiting on getting certified for something. Be patient. And actually, this time in Virgo is a great time. We're out of Mercury retrograde right now, and it's going to be favorable. I'm really hearing that you're going to get your confirmation really soon. I don't know why I'm hearing the 6th of September. No idea why, but I'm hearing for many of you, you're going to have that confirmation come around that date. You have to let me know. Leave messages in the comments if that aligns. Okay, additional meanings of this card: answering a calling, finding your purpose, starting a new life, perfect clarity, unlimited opportunities. Archangel Jeremiel is the angel who helps with life reviews. If you're seeking to take stock of the past and how it might relate to your future, you can call upon Jeremiel for insight. Ask him for detailed steps you can take that lead to successful changes in your life. So what I love about this, as I was saying earlier about the missing the mark and reviewing, right? Like reviewing what's working, what's not, what's happened in the past where maybe I missed the mark. What do I want to change? How do I want to show up now? So you could call upon Archangel Jeremiel. You could say, Archangel Jeremiel, please, the energy of this Archangel, please help me in looking from the lens of compassion, curiosity. Let me look at my life. Let me pause and do that now. I don't have to wait till the beginning of the year or a certain, holiday or date, or it can be any time. And what a lovely time, right? In terms of, for any of you who've studied the 5 elements, we're heading into late summer, which then leads us into fall before winter. And late summer is all about bounty and taking stock and like gathering all of the cornucopia of your fruits and vegetables and produce and goodness. And it's also a time when we move into fall. We're moving slowly into fall, which is all about releasing what doesn't serve. It's about even grieving sometimes. And the element associated with fall is metal, I believe. And I believe with late summer, I know fire is summer, but I do know that metal, we're moving into this time of late summer to fall. And it's such a lovely time to release, to look and see what doesn't serve, where do I want to do a review of my life? Now, what I'm hearing is this is really, really important. I want you to think of it like pruning, you pruning a tree or a bush, because think of it like the memories that you store, the neurons, right? What fires together, wires together. Some of these beliefs or memories, or I would say more of the like stories that you have, it's kind of like when you have a closet that's busting at the seam. There's too much. There are things that you're not wearing anymore. Like you're probably not going to wear the same jeans you wore in 1997. Now, maybe you are because they kind of came back. But, there's things that like kind of are out of date. They don't fit. They don't look right. They don't feel right. We want to do the same thing with our stories, with our beliefs, even with our thoughts. And so it's a really beautiful time to just do an assessment, a review. And you could call upon this Archangel Jeremiel. You could also call upon your higher self. You could call upon the team of light. You could call upon whatever you would like. My invitation would be, of course, to always set your intention that you are asking to connect with the highest realms of loving light and support. And then whatever comes through you, whatever you feel is aligned. Okay, so I'm going to pull two more cards. I'm going to use my deck. This is the You-est deck of intention cards. And let's just see what we get. What intention would like to be shared today? This one's just popping out. We'll see what it is. All right, let's see okay. So I'm going to share something I wasn't going to, but because I just pulled this again, I've got to have to. So I actually recorded this episode last night and I was really tired. And I just woke up this morning. And while I liked the episode, I felt like I wasn't fully present. I was exhausted. And I woke up and I was like, I got to redo it. And what is so nuts to me is the cards that I'm choosing are almost exactly the same cards as I chose last night. The message is almost exactly the same. It's just coming in like a few different cards, but this is the card I chose last night. Oneness. I'll show it to you. And that's a little wink. I'm sharing this out loud because I like to do life together real time, like you're just getting the real deal. Like this is what's happening. I felt so called to redo this. I really wanted it to be me and it's me. I'm awake. I have good energy. I got good sleep last night. And this is just a wink to me. This is a reminder from spirit, from the divine. Julie, keep following the flow, keep following your energy. By getting this again, like it wasn't a mistake to re-record, because I can sometimes get a little judgy, like, I don't know if that's so good. It's hard to know when I'm doing this myself. So anyhow, this is so cool because I chose oneness last night and that's the same card. And I want to read it to you and I'll tell you what is coming through me. Oneness. Here's the intention. I am created from the highest frequency of love and I am connected to all forms of life through this concept of a power greater than myself. Some of us call this God or goddess, higher power, infinite intelligence, source, divine universe, Mother Earth, whatever you call it. I celebrate my oneness with all that is, and I honor that we are all created out of love. I love that. And this really goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, and even just what we've been talking about around really undoing the conditioning of striving and hustling, which is very much in the thinking mind and ego, versus letting God support you, letting the divine support you, surrendering, releasing. All right, so ask your You-est you, has there been a time I felt connected to something greater than myself and a sense of oneness with all that is? How can I show love to someone I don't know today or someone I don't agree with? I just added that. How might the concept of oneness serve my highest self and others today? And what can I do to radiate oneness? So this is a state of being. We actually, I believe, are all connected. We are all from the same creator, this one beautiful, unbelievably powerful creator, right? Of light, of life. And we're also at the same time, it's holding the both and we're also individuated expressions, right? I was saying earlier, your North Star, your roadmap is going to be different than mine. And that's wonderful. And we need all of it. And what came through to me when I got this card yesterday was it's actually in your standing in your power with, not power over. So your power, your divine power, your divinity, your realization that you are connected. Literally, your heart is beating. The divine is beating it through you, right? And you're being breathed through this loving power. When you stand in your power, and a lot of this is for many of us who are empaths and highly sensitive and heart-led, leaders and entrepreneurs and people in the world, where our hearts are open. The area many of us need to work on is our solar plexus. That is the area in your belly that's all about divine will, stepping into your power. That's that golden yellow color. I don't think it's I think that it's not a coincidence for me. I'm very attracted to this color. That's why I painted my entire studio and loft this color. And it's something that I lean into because I have to be reminded as well. It's safe. It's okay to step in your power. It's not only safe and okay, it's needed. Our oneness, it actually comes when each of us steps in our own divine power. And that's power with and power together, not power over. That's the shift that's happening, my friend, in this time of ascension and change. I really believe it. It's a shifting in power. It's going from egoic power to higher power, which is higher power, right? Higher power, higher, more elevated, connected, divine power. So something to look at is, where are you disconnected with yourself? Where might there be an opportunity to have a feeling of oneness in yourself, in your mind? And that can be, for many of us that have struggled with addiction or self-loathing or being hypercritical of others or ourselves, i.e. judgment, that's where we stop remembering our oneness. So I would encourage you to look at, where can I bring a sense of peace and oneness within myself? And I say that first because I really believe we do the work inside first, and then everything is reflected outside. So as you bring healing and oneness to you on the inside, you're going to notice a different outside in reflection. Now, this might be, oh, wow, I'm super judgmental with myself. Maybe it's around your health, your weight, where you are in your career. I don't know. Whatever it is that you might be judging, what I'm hearing is, can you take that judgment and imagine a magnifying glass or a microscope and putting that judgment underneath, and imagine that magnifying glass or those glasses, or whatever metaphor works for you, are now these really beautiful, divinely lit up glasses or microscope or magnifying glass that is going to look through the situation. Oh my gosh, I don't know what just happened if you're watching this. Okay. I don't know what I just did that got to have fireworks, but I'm going to take that as a sign from the divine that is something to pay attention to. Oh my gosh, my heart is like bursting. Can't make this up. I didn't know that was going to happen. So I'm just going to go with, do that. Look at your judgments from God's eyes, from a greater perspective. This makes me want to cry. I'm just going to take a moment because I can feel the love that is being showered to me, to you, and it's just beautiful. And we forget it, and we need to be reminded. And watch this as much as you need. Remind yourself, set reminders. I am loved. I honor my divinity. I have a beautiful community called the Sanctuary. It's a membership where we come together and I do intuitive readings, and we also learn intuitive tools and practices. I'll show you. I have a group today. We're going to be using the pendulum. And one of our amazing community members, Laura, she had this realization in one of our sessions that she realized, oh my God, what I really want to be affirming is I honor my divinity. And it's helped her really step into a whole new way of being as a healer, as a coach, as a human being. And it's just, to me, like, we need these reminders. We need each other. We need one another. So whether it's here in this podcast community, hop over to YouTube, leave a comment, share your love, your heart. It makes a difference. If you're interested in the sanctuary, I'll leave information below. But really, finding community. Maybe you already have one. Maybe you're already part of one. Maybe you start a community. We need reminders with others who are committed to living a life of awareness, intention, consciousness, love, right? Where when we miss the mark, we say, okay, I missed the mark. Cool, I'm going to look at it. Where we can do those reviews of our life, not from being crappy to ourselves, but from a place of awareness and being awake and learning. So this oneness is so important, my friend. This is what you and I are here for. I really believe it. We incarnated in this lifetime to help bring peace and oneness to this world. And it starts with us. It starts with you, and it starts with me. Okay, I'm going to read one more card, and I'm going to choose this from, this is the Secret, and don't know where the cover is, but that's okay. I'll just show it to you. Here it is. In case you want to get it, we'll also have this in the descriptions. And I'm going to pull one of these cards and just see what we get. I always like the manifestation cards. They're fun. And we'll just see what Spirit has in mind. All right, this one is sticking up and lit up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is the same card I pulled yesterday. What is happening? Okay. Seriously, I'm tempted to show the other one so you can see what just happened. And I shuffled them. I shuffled them. All right. So this is interesting. Two out of the five cards are exactly the same, and the other three are almost identical. So we know, I know at least, this message is really powerful, and this is what is wanting to be shared right now. All right. So the law of attraction is always listening. If you think life is hard and a struggle, then by the law of attraction, your life will be hard and a struggle. Begin right now to say instead, life is effortless and easy. Life is amazing. Everything good comes to me. Everything always works out perfectly for me. I'll show it to you. This is so wild. I might just have to show some clips so you know that I'm just feeling this beautiful connection to the divine. I almost feel it smiling, little, I always see emojis, smiling, little emoji smiling faces, 360 around my energy and around you. So what I wanted to say about this is it's less about the words that you're saying. It's more about your energy and how you're feeling. We are going to manifest who we are being, not just what we're saying. However, the universe is listening because we're energy. Everything's energy, right? We're vibrating energy. So like attracts like. So who are you being? One of the things I love about these affirmations, now, saying something like life is effortless and easy, if you don't feel that, you don't want to lie to yourself, but look and see where might it be effortless and easy. Now, for example, we've talked a lot about your heart is beating on your behalf. You didn't do anything. I often go to my physicality. I'll say, you know what? My lungs are working with effort. It's without effort and with ease. My heart is beating effortlessly and with ease, right? I am speaking. I haven't had to clear my throat. I am seeing without effort and ease. So if it's hard to say those affirmations, find places where they fit, where they align, where they feel truthful. But remember, it is all about who you are and who you're being. And the surest, fastest way to shift how you're feeling is gratitude and appreciation, right? So you want to pause, tune in, and look for where can you naturally appreciate what's happening. Everything is always working out for my highest good. I love that one. I actually do believe that. I just taught at Georgetown University last week in their health and wellness coaching program, and we were talking about the gift of failure. And I'm like, I don't actually believe in failure per se because everything is a learning. So if you look at it that way, again, this is where we shift our perspective. Then it starts to change. Oh, you know what? All right, what could have been like a sin, missing the mark, or a failure, it's actually an opportunity to review, to look, to see, to get curious, to make change. And my friends, we are really in accordance with the natural laws. This is actually what Aaron Apke and I talked about recently as well. Nature's constantly evolving and changing. So of course we are too. So let's be kinder to ourselves. I want you to really come at this from a place of oneness and looking, where is there discord in my mind, in my beliefs, in my stories, and look to see, how can I bring love and unity consciousness? How can I affirm what is working well? Knowing that this beautiful law of attraction, the energy of the universe, is just going to mirror your energy. And the beautiful thing is that can change. That can change right now. All that you need is awareness. So my prayer is that this conversation, these intuitive messages, this brought more awareness for you. I hope you had fun with me. This has been so enlightening for me as well. I am just amazed that there were the same cards as yesterday, and the reminder, the little nudge that we follow the flow of energy. And even when it doesn't make sense, even when our brain might say, no, I'm not doing that, how, I got to figure it out, we can pause. We can soothe that part of ourselves, just like a baby that might be crying. Because I'm seeing a shush to your mind. And then we can we can surrender, we can release and follow our joy, follow your creativity, follow what's guiding you. So I want to thank you for being here. I've loved, loved, loved being part of your world and your orbit and your You-est You journey. I don't take it lightly. If you enjoyed this conversation and this episode, please share it with anybody you think it could help and serve. If you're over on YouTube, leave a message. I respond. I love to get to know you. I love to connect. It feels more like a family that way. And if you would like to join me in this free 3-day intuition activation experience happening 9/9 to 9/11, just go to juliereisler.com/workshops. From my heart to yours, may you remember the divine oneness in you, in all of us, and may you always love and honor your higher self, your You-est You, and your divinity. I love you. Mwah.